Hi, my name's Alwyn. I'm the director of Winnergenic and the product architect of Release-eZ. Today, I'm going to show you a quick demo of the basic features of Release-eZ. So let's start off with a simpler application, which might resemble any other corporate application out there. For demonstration purposes, I have here a contacts application, which is essentially a web app that is driven by a database that contains people's contact details. As you can see, it's fairly basic. Now suppose Charles, who's the owner of this contacts application, just met with a new client by the name of Ronald, who actually wished to be contacted via the email through ronald@mcdonald.com. Now because this application only provides read access, and in my organization I require a change management process for anything that happens to my contacts application, I can use Release-eZ to raise a new change request. To raise a change request, I simply log in using my credentials as Charles, and as you can see, I'm immediately put forward to the dashboard screen of Release-eZ. Keep this dashboard screen in mind, as it is essentially the user's activity summary and task list. Now Charles, he needs to add a new contact, Ronald, into this contacts application. So, he can do this by simply clicking on the New Request tab, where he is prompted to select which application he wants to modify and also which environment this modification is a part of. Charles is then presented with a request detail screen, where he inputs the summary, the description of the change, and perhaps a reference, as this may have originated from a Jira case number or perhaps a remedy case ticket. On top of that, he assigns a scheduled change window that he would like his database update to occur. Now down below, he selects the appropriate database he wishes to modify. And finally, since Charles knows his database in SQL, he inserts the required SQL statement for execution. Charles is then presented with a page requesting for all the appropriate reviewers who needs to review the change request prior to it being deployed. Charles selects Derek, as he is the DBA for the pre-implementation peer review, and Derek again for the post-implementation business review. Charles selects Next and is presented with a summary screen detailing the review procedures. Charles confirms the change request, and a change request is created. And now Charles, on his dashboard, under the My Created Request section, he can see his newly created change request. Now Derek at this point would have been notified via email that a change request has been raised. So Derek logs into Release-eZ using his credentials. And as you can see, Derek's dashboard shows that he has a new change request awaiting for his pre-implementation review. Derek clicks on the change request and is shown the summary of the change with all of the details, such as when and why the change was created, the scheduled change window, and who the change owner is. And he can even go right down to view the exact SQL statements which will be executed for this change, leaving him a peace of mind that Charles isn't accidentally deleting all of the contacts list. Derek then reviews the change as approved. At this point, the change request goes into a scheduler and the SQL statement will be executed according to the window assigned. Moments later, the change is executed. Derek is then re-notified that he needs to do the post-implementation review, and so he clicks into the request, where he can view the results, and he notices that the statement resulted in a single row updated. Derek then double checks in the environment that the script was ran in, and notices, yes, Ronald's contact details has been added to the application, and so he happily approves the post-implementation review. Now if we log back in as Charles, now Charles can see that his change request has been successful, and is certainly delighted that everything has been all approved by Derek, the DBA. Now one of the unique things about Release-eZ is that it allows you a promotion feature to propagate your change request to other environments running the same application. As you can see, the change we made before, which was all well and good, was actually just for a test environment. However, we wish to now propagate the change out to production, so that the rest of the business can also know Ronald's email if they wish to contact him. As you can see, in our prod environment, with red colors, we do not have Ronald's contacts as yet. This process we call change request promotion. All Charles has to do is simply click on the promote this request button, and he is prompted to insert which environment he wants to promote this to, as well as a standard change window and a brief comment stating his business justifications. Charles again is requested to put his pre and post implementation reviewers in. So let's ask Derek again. And he creates his change request. You'll notice here that the only real difference is that Charles did not have the chance to edit the SQL he previously performed in test. This is obviously a security feature, as you would not want your tested SQL to be modified while it is being propagated to another environment. This is essentially a risk mitigating feature. Now we've logged in as Derek, and as you can see, Derek can actually see where this change request has been promoted from. And again, he can click on the file to verify that none of those scripts has changed. And so Derek happily approves this change request. And Derek is happy to see that the change has gone through. And so just to verify, we'll go to production and click refresh, and there is ronald@mcdonald.com. So then finally Derek approves the post-implementation review and is glad that this whole entire thing has gone through successfully. And there you have it. That's the standard workflow of Release-eZ. Right from the start of the change initiation, all the way through the automated process that Release-eZ takes, through the change management cycle of pre and post implementation review, and all the way out to deployment over in production. We've endeavored to make it as simple as possible so we can make change and release management a piece of cake. So drop me an email for a free trial. I'm Alwyn from Winnergetic. Cheers.